What do you think of that? Sevilla, the Europa League merchants versus Jose, never lose a final.
It's got to be crazy.
There's actually a chat, super chat here, that touched on that. So it's a good job you brought it up. That said something along the lines of Mourinho. What do we think of him potentially being the first? Well, he is the first to already win the Europa Conference League and Champions League, but to do it again potentially.
Tammy Abraham be the first player ever to do it as well.
I tweeted that the other day. I said I will always laugh at like how
you sacked him.
Spurs chased him out of the club basically under the European. Do you remember when the whole European Super Football scandal thing was going on? Yeah. We thought, hey, this is our smokescreen to kind of get him out of there when he got us to our first final in a couple of years, domestic final anyway. But you just felt like he wasn't really given the backing either that Jose was normally given at previous clubs. And I said, when you bring in a manager like Jose, you've got to back him to the tilt. Roma, since then, I remember when he went there, I said, watch him do what he was supposed to do with us, do over there. Even though he won't be competing for Serie A, I guarantee you might bring an Italian Cup. They hadn't won a European trophy, I think, for 30-odd, 40-odd, or in their history, actually, I think it was. I can't even remember.
Brings it in.
Sure, Roma fans will let me know in the comments. But comes and brings that, and then back to back again. Like, Spurs fans can laugh and say, some Spurs fans will say, it's only a second tier, third tier European trophy.
Spurs fans have no right to such
we will bite your hand off for that because we were in both of those competitions and couldn't win it. So fair play to him for having gone there with a team that's not got a great budget. If you compare it pound for pound to the Spurs team we had, probably has less talent.
That was probably your best manager to win a trophy. People speak about Conte, but Conte has been brilliant in the league. He's been brilliant for bringing Juventus back from nowhere, not winning it in like 10 years. Bringing Inter from not winning it since Mourinho days, I think.
Both of them. Both of them.
He's brilliant. But you guys' league, that was always going to be a long day. But
and the thing was to sack him before after getting to the final, not to at least even let him see out the final.
That was the worst.
Listen, for me, it was embarrassing. And I remember Spurs fans telling me at the time, the football's so nasty, the environment's so toxic, get him out now. Would rather have a new manager bounce.
Even at United, he was the last guy to win something before this season.
100%.
Europa League and League Cup. So this guy wins trophies.
You don't doubt Jose in finals, I feel like.
He wins cups, man.
And it was one of the more foolish moments where I'm not saying, we should have kept him on for the next year or so.
No, but for the one game.
Let him see out that final.
That was a big mistake.
I just look back at it now and think,
ludicrous.
I've seen Lamela and Brian Gill basically set each other up to send Sevilla to the final on one side, and then on the other side, Jose and Roma are going. I'm like, you know what? You can't make this up.
Where does
you
he
can't
rank
make
then?
this up.
Because if he's winning, and he is the only manager to have won all those cups, I mean, what would you rather, that or winning 5 Champions Leagues? I'm not sure, but where does he rank now in terms of the all-time greats, in terms of the clubs that he's done it? He really is the man that can go somewhere on a much smaller budget and still find success. The only one was literally Tottenham, as we know, but where does he rank for you in terms of the all-timers with the trophies and the clubs that he's done it at?
It's tough, man. You got
right up there.
You got Ancelotti. You got Ferguson. You got Pep.
Ancelotti for me. Ancelotti, the lack of league titles
over Mourinho
is 100. Mourinho over Ancelotti by a mile. Not even close in my eyes.
Very
you think eyebrow raise in a Champions League every couple of years of a super team is going to impress me? Nah. Ancelotti, the amount of
you have to remember Mourinho did it.
The amount of great Madrid teams and Milan team. He had one of the greatest. Oh, let me not say greatest because the 90s team wasn't.
One of the greatest Milan teams.
But one of the greatest Milan teams, and one league title was all you had to show for it. Madrid, you've got one league title. That's all you've got to show for it. And it's like,
brilliant.
I even look at Conte and Ancelotti. I'm like, Conte's got this incredible league record, but an awful European record. But Ancelotti's got this awful league record, but an incredible Champions League record. Which is it?
But then Mourinho,
do you value more consistency over a season, or kind of someone who can do it in the
Mourinho's got Europe.
Mourinho's got both.
Won it at Porto. Won the Europa League at Porto.
Champions League.
Won the Champions League with
Porto,
with Inter as well, and Porto. So
and the UEFA Cup with Porto the season before the Champions League.
So UEFA Cup, sorry, not Europa League. And then now he's got potentially another Europa League and a Conference League at Roma. Again, not easy to do it. Not one of the biggest, best teams. And the league titles are there as well at Chelsea, at Madrid. So yeah, you know what? You make a fair case. He's kind of got.
For me,
it's
like
complete set.
It's the Pep and Fergie discussion is always going to be going for a while.
I don't think he can.
That one is kind of more difficult to differentiate, and eras are different.
Guys.
But I think Jose for me is third there
because he has fallen off, like in terms of pedigree, and there's a reason for that. Of the clubs.
I've stopped trying to negate Pep for the amount of changes Pep has done to the game. Like every time he does something, the whole league copycats, no matter where he is, whether it's the Bundesliga, La Liga, or the guy's influence is too crazy for me. So to not say Jose's better than him, I can't do that, to be fair. So for me, it's Pep and Fergie, and then you've got Jose after them.
Do you know what? Fergie and Jose are top 2 for me, says C. Bob Paisley is the true GOAT, says Norat.
I can't
3
judge
European
someone I haven't
Cups
seen.
in 9 years, 19 trophies in 9 years.
Those guys.
Where did Ancelotti win his titles? He won at Chelsea, Madrid, Milan, PSG, Bayern. 5.
Each. And don't forget, he was the one that lost the title to Montpellier, Giroud. He put Giroud on the map. People forget. People talk about Pochettino.
Why does everybody remember Pochettino's one then?
What, Pochettino won the title?
I know, but they remember the
they remember that. He won the title.
I didn't know it was that.
Exactly. Montpellier, Carlo Ancelotti. Streets ain't forget.
Doesn't get the same attention.
That's what Real Madrid and Champions Leagues will do, man. Paper over a lot of cracks.
I think his most impressive stat of his career is something like he went 8 years without losing at home. Across all the clubs.
Yeah, it was wild.
Something ridiculous like that.
I think the record he set with that Chelsea team is one
Liverpool
that I don't
broke
think
that
is
record.
What?
Xabi Alonso.
15 goals conceded in the single season.
that one. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Let me land, because that one I don't think is ever getting broken.
No,
I don't think anybody is ever conceding less than that in the season. We talk about centurions and record points.
That's
and
incredible.
those can all
Terry
be attained.
Carvalho.
Invincible can potentially be attained. That one, I genuinely do not think that will ever be done again.
You're talking about clean sheets for more than half the game,
bro.
Like it's mad,
nuts.
Yeah.
It's actually mad when you think about it. It's ridiculous.
Jose should get more respect, says Office Ricky. I mean, he gets the respect, I think, from everyone. It's just the years now he's been doing it. I mean, 2003 he won UEFA Cup with Porto. 20 years on, we're still here.
talking about
Do you not feel that over the last 4 or 5 years, in the British press especially, since he's had the United job, I feel like they've been trying to say Jose's finished.
Yeah.
Jose's a dinosaur. His management style doesn't work. His tactics don't work. And now we're seeing him succeed again. It's all, respect Jose. And he's nah, the last 4 or 5 years, everyone was trying to rub him out. And at Roma, he's kind of stamped himself again with a lesser team, with lesser budget, and shown, listen, no matter what you lot say, I can still do this.
Do you think he can kick on from here now and go full circle and go to a PSG or go to a top team?
What are you lot waiting for? You lot are doing up Pochettino.
We're
and
getting Poch.
Listen,
We're getting Poch.
I know, and you're part of the Poch brigade.
Yeah,
I know you're doing
I know
the
you're part of
NPR.
the PHC. I saw a PHC group chat be made. I was informed.
We're coming.
Yeah. Our rivalry next season is going to be hot. It's going to be crazy.
I think you lot should have done Jose part 3.
Nah.
That's
Do you know
what
why?
you lot should have done.
And the reason why I'll say no is because for the players that we have and the players that we've signed, young players, Pochettino is the perfect developer of player, and that's
They
what
would
we
have
need.
looked at Jose with
That's what we need. Nah, listen. They would have looked like Lampard with that as
Angel
well.
and the devil.
They would have looked at
Pochettino
Lampard for the first day with that as well.
Mourinho.
The way that Joe's plays, for me to go through that, because listen, I've seen some of the Roma games. They're hard watches. I watched them on Thursday against Bayer Leverkusen.
23-0.
Listen, that was a rough watch. We can gas it up, yeah, and it's cool we got to a final, but that was disgusting shit right there.
Yeah.
If I'm going to watch my team play like that, potentially, you better be winning the big trophies. No, Carabao Cup. You better win the big trophies, Prem or Champs.
But
so
if
for
there's
me,
one thing Jose's always
for me,
shown,
no.
if you give him the tools.
Yeah.
When at those bigger clubs. At United, he wasn't really given the tools.
But I wouldn't mind him. I wouldn't mind him going to a PSG, try and win the Champions League with all this European heritage. The first time to do it.
PSG just need to fade out now.
You don't
Super
think
teams
so?
done. Qataris just need to go
Yeah,
back
they're bringing
to
in the French players now. It's not a super team
That's
no
it.
more.
Just focus
So
on...
give Jose that, no?
Nah.
Waves here says best managers of all time: Fergie, Pep, Jose, and then Flop. He says, "Cheers, mate."
Mourinho better than Klopp.
Mourinho was so happy at the end,
Come on,
says
behave
Jack.
yourself.
You got to stick up for your boy, Alex. You can have that.
What did you say, Mourinho better than Klopp?
Yeah, I said Mourinho better
Well,
than
he's
Klopp.
been around as a manager a lot longer. I think you'd have to allow Klopp to have a few more years managing to see anywhere near the success that he's had. But he's definitely, up there with him for sure.